What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome back to EP09 Bodybuilding, and we're going to jump right into this one. Roelly Winklaar, someone that I've actually never spoken about on my channel. Roelly was actually competing before my channel existed. Hinting at a comeback for 2025. Roelly posting on his Instagram, "Magic mirror, mirror on the wall. Do you think I can do a comeback?" Well, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about that statement. Roelly Winklaar currently sitting at 48 years old. Now, the last time we actually saw Roelly compete was at the 2021 Romania Muscle Fest. Now, Roelly actually took 9th place at this competition. Not the best conditioning that we've ever seen from Roelly Winklaar, but you know, you didn't really see that insane detail from a guy like Roelly when it came to him competing. Obviously, he always brought that muscle mass. He always had great proportions, really good stage presence as well. This is a guy, when he showed up on stage, your eyes were really drawn to him. Now, in 2018, he actually took 3rd place at the Mr. Olympia. So we're talking about a top 3 competitor. The question is, how would Roelly do in today's bodybuilding? And really, what show realistically would he do? It was about 4 months ago when Roelly made an appearance on the Dennis James podcast, where he was asked about when he might compete again, and Dennis actually making the suggestion of the Masters Olympia. Roelly's response at the time is that he didn't think he was good enough. You know, the other guys were just so good that we're going to be going into that show. He really didn't think that he could stand up to it. Now, he did say that someday maybe he would compete if he felt like he was ready, but he did not confirm that he would actually do it. Now that we're getting a little bit of a hint that he may be considering it again, let's take a look at how Roelly is really training right now, because that's going to be a key indicator for me. Roelly's still training at the B News gym in Dubai, actually training with his son most of the time these days. Still looks absolutely insane when it comes to the weight that he's doing and the volume of training. This guy looks like he's training like he's in his mid-late 20s, you know. He has that very intense training method, you know. You can tell that he is still pushing himself. So you guys, I don't know, based on what I'm seeing here, this could be a situation where Roelly Winklaar may be able to make a decent return to the stage for the Masters Olympia, okay? Let's be realistic. Roelly isn't going to do anything outside of the Masters Olympia. You've got to really keep it in perspective as to the fact that he's 48 years old, and you really have to approach it knowing that we will see probably a shell of the former Roelly Winklaar when it comes right down to it. But it is a Masters competition. That's to be expected. If Roelly brought the conditioning and, you know, he really had the legs still there, which I think that he does, maybe he could come in and challenge for that Masters Olympia title. But, you know, you've got guys like Phil Clayhar. He is looking absolutely ridiculous right now. And, you know, Phil's hungry. Roelly, he doesn't seem that hungry to compete. So really, going up against competitors that have flipped that switch and are very locked in on competing right now, I think may create an extra challenge for Roelly Winklaar. But look, I want to know what you guys think of the current physique of Roelly Winklaar. Do you think that he could challenge for a Masters Olympia title? Let me know what you think of his current physique, and let me know if he did come back to compete at the Masters Olympia, if you would be that much more inclined to really tune into that show. It's not really a show that's typically very well viewed by a lot of the fans of bodybuilding out there. Is someone like Roelly Winklaar a competitor that could make that a little bit more exciting? And we have an update from the GOAT of bodybuilding, Ronnie Coleman, posting that he is currently in the hospital. Ronnie posting on his Instagram, "Hey guys, I hate to break it to y'all, but I won't be able to make it out to the UK this week like I planned. Unfortunately, I had a medical emergency and had to stick around here in the US for treatment. But don't worry, I'm in great hands, getting the best care, and I'm staying strong through it all. I'll be back and better than ever, and I can't wait to get out there and see you all real soon. Thanks for all the love and support, and as always, this ain't nothing but a peanut." You would expect nothing less from the greatest of all time in bodybuilding. Ronnie Coleman, who was supposed to be traveling over to the UK, actually Giles Tiger Thomas doing the Olympia Tour, which he's very well known for doing. Last one he did was actually with Andrew Jack. You can see many dates that Ronnie Coleman was supposed to appear at from July 1st all the way to July 14th. So this was a very substantial trip for the 61-year-old Ronnie Coleman. Unfortunately, this will not be happening, and we will not speculate as to what is going on this channel. But I wish Ronnie Coleman all the best. I hope for a speedy recovery, and we'll keep you guys updated as more news comes in on this one. Moving on to the latest and greatest physique update from Regan Grimes at about 15 weeks out of his return to the Olympia stage. And this update for Regan, you know, this was the first one I went on to see where I was honestly very impressed. Regan typically does have very impressive updates online, but this one for me, for some reason, just hit different. So I went and looked a little bit further at what exactly is happening with Regan Grimes. Regan made a post that says, "I have the same fire inside me when I was chasing my pro card. If I'm honest, I feel like for some reason, I lost some of that along the way a bit, but it's back. I'm obsessed and I'm on a mission. My desire to win has never been stronger. You will see my absolute best version at the Olympia in 15 and a half weeks." So look, this more confirms my suspicion of, like I said, it was hard to really put my finger on, but it does seem like there's something just a little bit different about Regan Grimes right now. I think that he really does have a different approach that he's taking to this Olympia prep. I think that he is more locked in than he's ever been. And I think that he does have a very good chance at doing better than what we saw at the previous Olympia. The last time we did see Regan Grimes on stage in 2023 at the Olympia, taking 9th place. So look, top 10, very good placing for Regan, but not living up to the expectations that the bodybuilding world still maintains for Regan Grimes. I would say that this guy is right at the very top of the list of bodybuilders that the world is just waiting to really show up, you know, to really meet that potential. I feel like he's the one guy that the bodybuilding world has never given up on when it comes to somebody that could reach their full potential and really make a significant impact in the world of bodybuilding, especially in this modern day era of mass with class. Regan arguably has the best shape in bodybuilding right now. He has that mass. Actually, he could use more. That's been the one criticism of Regan. And taking multiple off seasons to try to improve that, he still does need just a little bit more. Maybe that's a bit of the fire that we're seeing right now. Maybe that's what he's planning on going after, coming in bigger and better. I think it would serve him very well. And part of that fire for Regan Grimes is, of course, continually competing. Actually making an appearance on Olympia TV where he dropped some pretty significant updates recently.
Yeah, but for me this year, the goal is top 6. Honestly, that's what I want. So we will. That's what we're gearing for, and I'm gonna make it happen. You know.
So for Regan to think that he's going to take top 6 at the 2025 Olympia, I think still might be a bit of a stretch. Now, with improvements, I think that within the next year or two, this guy could definitely be top 6. Like I said, the bodybuilding world has never given up on Regan Grimes, and I think that he's taking significant steps to try and get to that point. Actually changing coaches from Stefan Kinzel, boss of Outlaw, to Dom Supersliced, and actually announcing on Olympia TV that he may compete in the France Pro as well. Very interesting, a show that's very close to the Olympia, maybe trying to dial things in before he actually hits that Olympia stage. It might be a good strategy for Regan. We know that he can handle doing multiple shows per season, so that might work out for him. But I think that when it comes to his change of coaches in particular, Dom Supersliced, not a super well-known coach, actually really gained some fame when Nick Walker was being coached by Dom for a short period of time. I know that one of the things that Dom Supersliced is very, very adamant on is hitting certain health markers with his bodybuilders. And Regan Grimes, a competitor that does have some pretty significant issues when it comes to food in particular. You know, Regan is actually allergic to rice, of all things, okay? Doing an allergy test there, I think it was 2023, the later portion of 2023, when he was still coached by Milos, finding out that he has an allergy to rice, and that may have attributed to some of his inflammation that he has on stage, maybe part of why he can never get that shredded. But Dom Supersliced, somebody very well known for really putting his athletes through the paces when it comes to the health markers, so maybe they can find the formula to bring Regan Grimes in at his very best. For me personally, I do think that he still does have the potential. I don't think that he'll get it this year, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think that Regan Grimes making these changes could make his way into the top 6 on the Olympia stage someday? So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below.
This YouTube video, everybody's gonna say, bro, you can't be laughing, you can't enjoy your workouts, you gotta be serious.
Bro, you gotta be miserable.
You gotta be miserable if you wanna be the best.
All right, I'll say it. When is Derek Lunsford going to flip the switch on this Olympia prep? So we do have the latest and greatest from Derek Lunsford at about 15 weeks out. I think Derek looks good. I don't see any major improvements as of right now, but you know, I wouldn't really expect to, I guess, at this point. I would still like to see bigger arms on Derek, you know, maybe more overall size really while maintaining that midsection. Of course, the striations in the chest that we've been waiting to see, that would definitely play well the next time he hits the stage. But either way, when is Derek Lunsford going to flip the switch on this Olympia prep? Derek posting a recent YouTube video where, you know, he does not look as serious as he does in this video. That I will tell you for sure. Joking around with Matt Grego. There was somebody else there he was joking around with as well. When you see a lot of other competitors at this point that are extremely locked into their Olympia preps, you know, you've got Samson that's already locked in. Nick is locked in right now. Hottie Chupin. I saw Hottie Chupin squatting 6 plates with 35s on it as well on each side. Free weight barbell squat. He did look like he was getting a lot of assistance from his spotter, but regardless, these guys are locked in. And from what I'm seeing from Derek Lunsford right now, you're not really seeing that. Derek does seem like he's training pretty hard. You know, he's doing that rip and grip style of training, which I think works very well for him. And look, it's training that I've really enjoyed in the past myself as well, without question. If this is the kind of energy that Derek has at 16 weeks out, I think that's, you know, a pretty good indication that he could carry this energy into the rest of his Olympia prep. But he does just seem a little bit more relaxed than previous Olympia preps at this point than what I've seen from him before. And I think it is pretty noticeable, so I wanted to really comment on it. Maybe it's just the fact that Derek's trying to take a lot of stress off of himself for this Olympia prep, because, you know, there is a lot of stress on this guy right now. It's different for him compared to other competitors. The vast majority of Derek's bodybuilding career competing has been on the Olympia stage. A lot of people know that Derek typically has only done the Olympia in his career, but let me spell it out for you guys, okay? Since 2018, Derek has only competed on the Olympia stage, except for this year, of course, doing Pittsburgh and the Arnold Classic, both of which he won. But when you really say it like that, since 2018, the only show this guy has done is the Olympia, that is massive pressure. A lot of people would say, well, he hasn't had to compete regular seasons, so that actually takes pressure off. You guys, think about it. The only show that you do is the Olympia, and you're typically either finishing within the top 2, top 3 at the Olympia, if not winning the show. That's a massive amount of pressure on one competitor. So I actually do think that the Arnold win and the Pittsburgh Pro win did allow Derek to maybe relax just a little bit and maybe prove something to himself, which can carry over into overall confidence. And maybe that's why we still see him so relaxed right now. Now, look, you guys, in that same video, Derek did speak about, you know, remembering why you really started training and, you know, his love for training in particular. You know, it's very important when it comes to the very highest level of bodybuilding.
Serious about coming in here and having good workouts, we are, but I think that with us being like, you know, 17 weeks out or whatever we are right now, now is the time to be able to remember why you started and have fun with the training too. So it's right around the corner. We are going to be locked in, and then there's not going to be so many jokes.
So it's funny, a guy like Derek who doesn't even know exactly how long it is to the Olympia, when you've got a guy like Regan Grimes literally counting down the days. So when it comes to Derek, is he confident right now? Yes. Is he relaxed right now? Most definitely. So I just hope that he doesn't get overconfident. You know, he still has monumental battles to fight out on that Olympia stage. But my question for you guys is, can Derek pull off the comeback and win the Olympia this year? Based on what you're seeing right now, physique-wise, given his attitude, what do you guys think? What kind of feeling do you have on Derek Lunsford right now? Is this the kind of attitude that you would expect out of a Mr. Olympia champion looking to come back and retain his title once again?
See this word? Champion? Remember that.
But look, I'm going to wrap up the video right here, you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out biomuscles.com. Use code EP10 at checkout. Appreciate all you guys supporting the channel so far. But that's it for me in this video. Thank you guys for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.